Afternoon. It's afternoon now.
It is.
It's afternoon. So welcome.
Hi.
This is like the chill one. Like I don't know if you've seen Freedom Fam. It's a little abrasive.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. It's like all structured over there and like official. And it's great, but I don't know. Like what I like to kind of do over here is like we're just hanging out, like having coffee together. What's going on with you? What's going on with me?
That's my vibe.
For everybody that's tuning in, if you do not know, this is Spiritual Warfare. That is her handle over on TikTok. Make sure that you go and give her a follow if you're not already. Good morning, cats. Good morning.
Morning.
We love our cats. So let's just go with the standard, like what the shit brought you on TikTok? Like how did you I like to go back. Like, what did you do before TikTok and how did you find it?
Okay, so I got on TikTok originally to promote my small business. And that's all I was going to use it for. So my handle...
Get out of my comments. Out of my comments, Wayne. Sorry, text like
okay. My handle is actually my small business name, and I just never changed it. So I just went with it.
Small business? What do you do?
I am a resin artist as well. So I make rolling trays, I make ashtrays, anything you could think of. I make like really cool stuff. It's on Instagram.
I had no idea because I found you on like Political.
Yup.
What'd you do? How you go?
I don't know. I saw everybody. I saw all. I'm gonna call you guys my peers because you're one of them. I saw you. I saw Trent. I saw Batty. I saw Barbie, and I was like, wow, like their views align with mine, and it really inspired me and the younger generation to get involved. And I was like, our generation's completely fucked. Like I should start speaking up, you know?
I mean, America. Like I don't know how else to say because everybody's like looking for someone to blame, and I'm like, y'all know it was us, right? Like,
yeah,
we did this shit.
You guys started it, so
we did. No, Tax. We are not talking about Modern Warrior. Get out of my comments.
Bye. But yeah, that's how I ended up on TikTok. I just went on there to promote my business and the things that I hand make, and I just really got inspired by everybody else that was on there. And I was like, I see everybody's making some really good friends on there by doing this. Like, let me start talking my shit, you know? And that was pretty much it.
Yeah, you came in hard too. You came in like just patriot. Like,
yeah,
I remember I found you and then I didn't engage. We started engaging with each other because you were Investigation Pretzel.
That's a whole funny story right there.
Honestly, though, like very candidly, those videos seriously got me through that. Like it was.
I'm so happy.
It was hard off the app. Like we can all joke or be arrogant and be like, that shit don't bug me. Yes, the fuck it does.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. It's mean.
You're human. You're human. Right. You're not a robot. So when I did that whole thing, because I'm very anti-bully. So right. I bully the bully and I'm the one that gets in trouble. Everybody knows this. But when I see people that I care about or have some kind of emotional connection to getting completely dragged on the internet, personal information getting dragged across the internet, I just wanted to make everybody laugh. I just wanted to, and that was my biggest goal, and it worked. So I was happy about that.
No, you did. You did. All of them were like so, because for a minute I'm like, fuck, are you kidding me? Like, are these all going to be hate accounts now? And then I started seeing it and I'm like, what the shit is all of this?
I am a queen troller. Like, you cannot troll me.
So many of you, though. It was like a whole snack gang.
It was. And we all had the same agreement that it was just for fun. Like, we didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. We just wanted to make everybody involved laugh, because my picture got used on that website as well, on that page. And I was like, this is false advertisement. Like, let's not do that.
The one of Pastor Cheeto, though, like snorting coke and going out, was probably my favorite one. It's still in my phone.
Anything that I found with a Cheeto in it or Chester the Cheeto, like I was using it for trolling 120%, like pouring the Cheetos in the toilet.
Yes, like I'm going through this, and it's of course like nighttime smoke sesh, and I'm sitting out there, and my husband's like, "You're like 5 right now."
Oh my God.
Laughing. And I'm like, this is insane. Like these people don't even know us, and they're like, "Fuck it, we're rolling out." And I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah, well, nobody deserves that, you know. I don't care. I don't care what the pretext is. I don't care what happened. To me, two things are off limits, and it's children and it's doxing.
Yeah.
Especially doxing people with children.
Well,
Because that's dangerous.
Weird. Like that's what people do now when they fight. It's like this, you get this feeling, like everybody gets that feeling. Like when you're fighting with somebody and you're like, and for some reason, people's brains are going to like destroy everything about them, not just like slam them, laugh about it later. It's like, let's take their job. Let's take their career. Like
you can't take a little TikTok beef. Like it's really not that deep.
No. And then there's like cops getting called. And like, I mean,
Someone called my house 2 weeks ago. And I know who it was. Yes. Someone called my house. My mom answered the phone. And they asked for me, and I got on the phone, and they were calling me Bob Marley. Like that was an insult because of my hair. First of all, Bob Marley's the coolest motherfucker to ever live. So,
motherfucker alive.
Like, thank you. And they were threatening that they were going to fly out here. So I kindly offered her, I would pay for the ticket. I was like, do you want me to book it for you?
That's what I mean. Like, I don't.
It's not that serious.
Well,
she started with me. She started with me.
It always is that. It always is that. Like I fucked around and found out on TikTok one time, like,
oh yeah,
going back and forth at it, you know, with this girl, and it was immature as shit. Both sides, totally immature. I mean, there was reason. Okay, I'm not gonna like discredit like why I was mad or why that individual was mad. She had reasons. I had my reasons. But like here I am thinking like, oh yeah, we're just gonna like fuck around, we're just gonna go at each other, like whatever, like let's do it. And then it was like I wound up in real ass court, like in front of a real ass judge. It was at that moment in my life when I'm standing in a courtroom and there's like a laptop out for evidence, right? And it's a Freedom Fam live of like talking about licking each other's assholes.
Oh my God.
For the statement. So I'm like sitting here and I'm like, is this really my fucking life? And like, I got into it again. Because it's hard not to get sucked into it, especially when it's about
no, it is
coming at you. Or
it's really hard because everybody's got an ego, you know? And when you're gunning for someone's ego, you're like, bitch, don't you dare. Like, I will drag you. Like, that's how I am. And I'm guilty of it.
The court paperwork starts showing up and you're like, Jesus, it wasn't like, I had to go to a different state, a whole different state.
Like, it wasn't that deep.
But you, at the same time though, like, I'm not glad it happened, but now I'm kind of like,
I mean, it was a learning lesson. You know what I mean?
Right. Definitely a learning experience. Definitely not going down that road ever again. But I don't understand. And even that one wasn't as bad as like some of the shit that I've seen. Like it was a restraining order. It wasn't like, you know, ruining my life or calling my work. But I've seen that happen. Like I've seen people lose their jobs. Me too. And friends of mine have had to go up to like keep their nursing license. But
it's all because of a disagreement, and that's that. I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? Like people have children to feed, they have houses to pay for. Like you guys want to have a little TikTok beef, like that's cool. But to go after someone's livelihood for a disagreement, absolutely not.
No, because at the end of the day, like, get those comments too, where people are like, "Oh my God, we're all together. Like, why are you doing this?" We are still together. Like even the creators that I got into a fight with and I wound up in court with, me and them are still on the same team. I never said we weren't. I never said that person wasn't doing what that person needed to do. I mean, especially in my situation, because the person that I got into with is a badass voice for her country. Just because I don't like you and you were, you were this way to me and I came at you or whatever, we are all on the same team still. Just because you see like those little fights on TikTok doesn't mean that like, we're all just divided now. No,
listen, I'm really big on agreeing to disagree. Like you're entitled to feel how you feel. Your feelings are valid, but so are mine. And let's just not talk about it again and keep the friendship moving.
That is the big difference, is because it's not face to face anymore. So 90% of these encounters on TikTok would never make it that far in real life.
No.
Someone's either going to get hit and that's going to happen, or it's just, they're not going to have the cojones that they have online to say what it is.
TikTok has given everybody the ability to hide behind a screen. And that's just what it is. I've had comments about my hair, of course. And do you think that would ever happen in person? No, it just wouldn't.
Right now. You officially fighting.
Ding, ding, ding.
He does. Tex, you won't believe what Kat said to me. Kat said to me, chickens are Hollywood. So she's got this chicken coop. And these chickens live better than I do. I want to go live in the chicken coop.
First of all, I want chickens.
I miss mine. We had to get rid of ours.
Oh, I want a silky chicken.
No, I wanted a silky chicken, and I was going to name that one Ant.
It looks... It literally looks like a Pokemon.
Like, go get a TikTok account. And then go get a TikTok.
We miss you over there, by the way.
Those boys are never coming back.
Oh, I know they're not.
They're not. Like
I heard the word.
I linked them today in my bio today in my little link tree, because everybody's Tex, get out of my comment section, please. It's so distracting because I don't want to talk about him right now. We'll wrap it up with Modern Warrior. Okay. How about that, Tex? We'll get into it a little bit.
Stick around, Tex.
And now I totally forgot what I was talking about.
We were talking about doxing and TikTok drama and
but like at the end of the day for you, because I think it's really helpful, because Tex asked me this before and Ant's asked me and I've asked people and whatever, like at the end of the day, do you think it's still worth it? Like what makes you want, right? No.
It's like, what am I even doing it for?
Right.
Like, why am I getting so hyped behind this fucking camera right now? You know, it's not worth it. And then when you have to factor in the doxing and all that crap, like, is it really worth it to like have to sleep with one eye open, worry about losing your job? Like, it's not.
Because then they silence like the parts of us that are like, hey, locally, hey, go get involved here. Hey, we should do this. Or like your gym journey that could help people. Like all those things get pushed over here.
Right.
So now your voice isn't even being heard. And then you're at risk of being doxxed. And then like they're doing this and they're doing this and like
mass reported, lost account. Like
I know. And I try to get ideas from other people that are on there. Like, how do we make it like good again? Not good again, but like how the hell do you even feel comfortable creating anything at that point? Even fun content, any content.
Yeah, it's hard. I think like me, especially moving forward, because I just lost my main account, I think I have to ignore those people. Like I have to just straight up ignore them, because that's what they want, you to put the spotlight on them. They do.
Weird. Which is weird though. Like, why do you need like negative?
Because it's that, to me, looking at it, it's like that, like I said, that ego thing. Like, I can leave a nastier comment than you. I'm better than you. I'm cooler than you. Look at me. I'm a shitty person. Like, okay. And what do? We go, look at this person being a shitty person.
Wait,
you know?
The thing is, it's our fault.
We play a part.
Yeah.
We play a little tiny mirror part.
I will say that TikTok pushes that algorithm more than any other social media app I've ever been on. We were talking
120%.
How they push the divisive, they push the drama, they push all of those things because they like it to be chaotic.
Hear me out, right? So
we're going to circle the Modern Warrior real quick, because that's why I think that it's possible, guys. It's possible that that's not real.
Listen, I always think
too much
when I see this stuff that people are paid agitators.
Yeah.
Because first of all, if you want to go
factors, like just to reset the algorithm, you know what I mean?
If you want to go down that rabbit hole and social media, everything is tracked on your phone. Your FYP is specifically for your personality.
Right.
Okay. So everything that you're seeing is an obvious trigger.
Right.
Same thing with Facebook posts. Same thing with ads. Like you go on Instagram or you talk about something to your parents or whoever, your phone picks it up and knows that you want to buy this. Everything is to trigger you, especially on social media. So I usually question things. I'm just not good at keeping my mouth shut and watching first.
Well, look, everyone's done that. Everyone's done that because you react out of emotion.
Always.
You know what I mean? And that's not necessarily like a bad thing to do. Like you're emotional, you feel things, you're an empath. You know what I mean? Probably
bad.
Like what you do. Like you just kind of grab onto it and you're like, ooh, I want to fix it. Oh, I got to say something. Oh, I got to do something. So it's like, bleh.
Since my mother will tell you I've been like that since I'm a child. Like I think I can heal the world. I do. I really do. And I love humans and I love human interaction. Like when I see somebody crying, like I start crying.
I'm one of those people too, but people know that kind of thing. So like when I guess we're doing it, when the whole Modern Warrior thing broke out, right? Because Tex is not on TikTok. I had to like FaceTime him and screen share and be like, look at this. There you got this one over here and this one over here and this one and this one and this one. And the lighting is great for all of them. I mean, like the filters, the lighting, the music, the whole thing, right? It's like a damn telenovela. And now, like 3 episodes in, I might be pregnant with your baby. And oh, no, you're not. And I might this. And I'm not saying that like none of it happened. That's not, I can't say that because I don't.
Do I think it was done the wrong way? Yeah, I do. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, yes. But do I think that it was presented? It's an odd thing to present. And then you look at all the accounts and how large they are. Like all of them have like over 1 million followers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what are you doing? Like why? I
was talking about this with my mom this morning because, like I said, I've been debating somebody all this morning about this. Mm-hmm. And if it should have stayed on TikTok, not been on whatever.
Right.
And my whole thing is Lance is TikTok famous.
Right.
He's not famous anywhere else. He's got 3 million followers. What is the only valid way to take somebody like that down? You have to kind of go public with it.
You do.
To deplete their platform at least and get him like held accountable, you know? Right. But as far as like the theatrics of it all.
Who's holding him accountable though?
Like, I don't know if anybody is.
Hold him accountable.
Yeah, because making a TikTok video is not really holding anybody accountable, in my opinion.
No, I mean, it isn't. Like it's weird. Like I guess I don't have words for it. It's weird. But then I see buzzwords being used.
Neo-Nazi.
Yeah.
All those words.
I want to make sure that they are not a part of us who are neo-Nazis. Okay. Because that's who they're talking about.
Oh, I know.
All of conservative TikTok. So, but then you have other buzzwords like informed consent. And it's like, it's an interesting way to put it. It's an interesting verbiage to use.
Right.
Do I agree with you? Yes. But do I also believe that like, because now there's a bunch of people that think that this was like a whole sexual assault thing.
That's what I was just going to say.
You were assaulted. He sexually, no, he did not. Did he manipulate her? Did he play her? Did he dog the shit out of her? Absolutely. And I'll even make the whole informed consent thing. Like I get it. But you're also putting out a narrative now that you know is going to be taken the wrong way with that verbiage. Like,
well, that was my thing that I was talking about this morning, and I was trying to let people know that
I told all of them. I'm like, why does nobody care that he's married? Like,
yeah, he is.
Girls, he's whole ass married. He's got kids and he's married to a white lady. Because I remember when that came out, like they're like, oh, Modern Warriors, you know, his wife is white. I remember him having a wife.
His wife is white. Yeah.
But now all of a sudden he's saying that he wasn't married.
But that's public record. Like anybody can look that up.
See, when you say shit like that, it makes me sound like I belong on a list. And that's what I mean when you say he didn't honor my informed consent. Unless you know the verbiage of that, you're going to assume that she means that she was.
You're 100% right. So I was trying to get people this morning to decipher, like, informed consent does not always relate to sexual assault.
Right.
Like, we use that term when it comes to medical freedom. Mm-hmm. Right. So, and I understand her logic because I was trying to put them together this morning. So when I go to the doctor and they don't inform me about everything that's in this jab and they give it to me, that's not informed consent.
No.
You're putting something in my body that I didn't even know about.
Exactly. And it's a violation of your body. Absolutely.
So I think that's where she was coming from. But it is a very triggering word when speaking about being involved with somebody sexually.
Right. Because then like there was like a sentence and I remember telling Tex, I was like, I really hope that she didn't mean to do this. And I don't think she did. I think that she was just trying to be like very reserved and like proper and making sure that it wasn't emotional and saying things correctly. And like, I'm not discrediting her at all in this. Right. But I like what worries me though was like there was a stance that was like, I did not consent to that sex.
But you did.
You did. You bought
but you were manipulated, you know.
Manipulated into it, absolutely. And
you just didn't consent to being cheated on.
Right. Or and so like I get it. Like it's one of those things where like just because what you say is like factual, when you put verbiage on things and kind of flip it, it makes them sound so much worse. Because now like I've seen numerous ones where they're like, these women were sexually assaulted. Sexual assault is not a joke. Sexual assault is not drama. Like, and I'm like, you guys, they weren't sexually assaulted.
Right. They just got played, really, was what it was.
They did. And I mean, and it happened.
And it sucks. And we've all been through it at one point.
Oh my God, yeah.
You know, and you know what though? I kind of feel for her.
Until she said informed consent. And then she made like 5 more. And then like the verbiage didn't change with like the.
I think that makes it very confusing for everybody else watching because you're using this certain word in a sexual setting. Mm-hmm. So when you put informed consent and sexuality or sexual together, you're making people assume that you were raped.
Right.
You know, and I don't think you were. It's not what you alluded to. You just alluded to the fact that your body got used in a way that you didn't consent to.
Mm-hmm. And I do love the vulnerability of it. Like as a woman, I do.
Same.
I love how raw she was with it. I just worry about the butterfly effect of it, if that makes sense.
It's like, already happening.
It is. But it was raw. Like I remember watching it and like getting that feeling in my stomach. And I was like, she put words to that emotion. Oh my God. Like because I've had that happen, you know, like where I'm in love with this person and I'm giving them like but I'm one of those people that does take sex like seriously. I do like
same.
And I'm not comfortable showing a lot of my stuff and like I'm more a little conservative, but I didn't used to be at all. Like I was the opposite of that shit for a really long time. But like I've had that feeling of I thought that it was this. And I trusted you and we had like this beautiful moment and the emotions were there. And people don't put that in when they're listening to a story. They just hear buzzwords. But so like I was so conflicted on it and I still am.
I just think it's really like, interesting.
Put words to that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously. Well, we've been warning you this whole time that he's a narcissist. Like we've been telling you, but nobody's been listening, you know. I think it's
that like, come on. Dude.
I think it's really interesting because I can see both sides of the coin with that term specifically being used. Like, yes, like this is the debate that I was trying to have this morning. Like everybody's like, well, it was consensual. And I'm like, but was it? like, because she was manipulated into it. You know what I mean? Like, but was it actually, how can you say something's consensual if you don't really know what you're consenting to?
Right. There is
How would that work in a court of law?
That scares me though. That scares me though.
It is scary.
Like, because when she had said, and I don't know if this is illegal, or I don't know if there's charges. She said something like that. Oh, I don't know if this would be considered, but it might be. But here's my thing: if we start letting, it's Pandora's box, bro. Like, yes, what you're saying is true, that it wasn't full consent because you were misled into agreeing to do something. I see where you're on that. But if we make that like now a law, or start looking into making it a law, I'm a woman first and foremost, but I'm a boy's mother as well.
Same.
Like, I'm a boy. And me and Tara were talking about this it was on here a couple weeks ago. Like, as a woman, I love it, but as a mother of a boy, I'm like,
it's very scary.
Fuck, dude. Like, that's everything. Like, it's weird, but I am more afraid of sending my son out there than my daughters. Like, I can teach my daughters to be warriors. I can teach my daughters to have fire. I can't teach my son to spot a girl that's going to say some dumb shit or change her mind after she slept with him, or want to take him for everything that he is, or you know what I mean? I'm more scared.
I think times have really changed when it comes to like worrying about girls. Like, my parents worried about me more when I was a child.
Right.
Now I think you have to worry more about the boys.
Not that one. Tara, you still mad though on TikTok. Not that one. No, I do. I'm more scared.
Yeah. I think it's scarier for boys now because a lot of speaking against men is coming out. Like, it's all men, Me Too, all that stuff. And it's so easy to misconstrue a situation. Look at what's happening right now on TikTok. Everybody thinks that he was talking to a 16-year-old. He sexually assaulted a bunch of girls. Like, cut the bullshit.
I don't know why they have to go to that point. Like, he's a piece of shit, guys. Everybody agrees.
We know.
With you. You don't gotta like be like, oh, and he's a pedophile. No, the fuck he's not. Stop it.
I always want to stick with women, and I always believe the victim, because I rather believe the victim may be lying than what if the abuser is lying?
No, absolutely. No.
It's just a really touchy situation, especially when you're raising a boy, because it's so easy. It's so easy to lie.
It is. And we see it happen. And that's why, like, okay, so open up the discussion. If informed consent now is going to be a part of this, if this is what we're saying that it is, cool. Then I'm going to go ahead and request, like, why aren't there punishments for the women who lie? Why isn't there a list?
It's got to go both ways.
I think that if a woman accuses a man of something and doesn't get charged, and it's found out that she's lying, that she should get the sentence that he would have gotten for her lie.
You should absolutely do time for lying.
And then go register on a registry that says that you set somebody up, because that's forever, especially when you start throwing around like the pedophile shit. It doesn't, you call somebody
not a joke.
Once, and they're fucked for life.
Yeah,
that's the most evil thing in this world, and everybody knows that.
Like what? Like, no one's ever gonna want to give you a job or anything.
I only turn it on for the shows.
Your fireplace looks nice.
I know. Texas, like, do you ever turn that thing off? Because it's like that's just my background now.
No, I like it.
It does. It's like, text is like all. I can't read anybody else's comments because it's all text. Okay. It's nothing. It's nothing. So you, because you have, you just have like it's one son, right?
Yes.
And how old is he?
2.
He's
adorable. And he just started saying everything. Like, now he's calling grandpa. He knows the whole alphabet. He knows he knows to count to 20 now. He knows all his animals. He's doing really, really good.
That's good though. That's good.
That's my life. That kid saved my life.
But and it should be your life, and I feel like that's why I love seeing especially like really patriotic moms that are like, like this is not what I'm leaving for my babies, and this is not what I'm gonna instill on my children, and we're gonna go ahead and do this. And like you're seeing women this year, like I usually hate girls, to be honest with you. Like I'm very anti-woman usually.
Yeah,
I'm anti I'm very against like feminist movements and
me
all
too.
the
I'm
rest.
anti-bitch.
Yeah, like
I love people and I love women, but I'm anti-bitch.
Did I teach? No, but now I feel like I have to. I feel like now I have to teach my son what informed consent means.
This is why it's so important that people talk about it publicly, because these conversations need to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my whole thing. While this guy is sitting there on TikTok saying, why are people putting it out in the public? This is why.
Yeah. And like I could disagree, like, ooh, you got me on that one. You got me on that one, because I was kind of like, dude, why'd you even do that? Like, but now that you're saying it, like, even though there's drama that's coming out of it, there's also conversations like these that are coming out of it that
yes,
really, I didn't think about it. You know, I didn't, because all I kept thinking in my head was it was split in half. And the girl part of me is like, oh my God, I've been there. But then the mom part of me is like, you're everything that I don't want my son to date.
Right. And so how do we teach them to not be like that? We have to have these conversations with them. Right. And it's something that's never really brought up, I feel like, and it's very important, you know?
But a lot of times too, like we over princess our girls.
Mm-hmm.
It's very weird. There's like my daughter the other day, like full out, like kicked my son in between his legs. And my son punched her for it, like right in the side of the face, like, and she fell on the ground and was like, he hit me, and boys can't hit girl. And I'm like,
but you hit him first.
Throw a fucking hit. You better be man enough to take a hit. You don't get to be like that. Like,
yeah, I agree.
A lot of girls are raised that way, that because you're a girl, you're entitled to X, Y, Z, and you are entitled to absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Like, is it hard to be a girl? Yeah, bro, it is. But that's like the hand that you were dealt. Suck it up. Like, this is what
right.
You don't have a choice. Like, you're not going to act like this. You're not going to run around and say, oh, because I'm a girl, or.
We definitely coddle our girls more than our boys, 120%.
I mean, I don't. Personally, I want to let everybody know that I am not raising girls like that. Like,
good.
My girl.
We need strong women.
Afraid to do that. Childhood. Yeah, my son gets crushes constantly, and he's only 8. He's got a new girlfriend every day of the week.
Oh my God, Mrs. Steal Your Girl.
I might need to talk to him about informed consent going forward.
That's a good idea.
No, don't make a video. Wait, what is going on? What did I do to Tex?
You've been telling him to get out the comment section?
Because I violated him. Because he said that I violated him. Okay, that's fine.
My mom's got the little one.
No, it's fine. I told you the other day, like it's a middle of the day show, and we're moms.
It's okay.
Like that's our life.
Who wants to come babysit?
Free kid, just come watch it. Great.
Yeah, please, somebody, and bring vodka.
Russian vodka. We know.
Yes, because I'm not dumping it.
Nobody wants it. I'll take that shit. I have no problem with that.
Literally.
So, what do you think's going on in fucking Ukraine? And by the way, if we talk about it, there's no matter of factness. There's no I'm right. This person's right. It's we don't do that.
Absolutely.
So, I'm just really interested what other people think, because now it's starting to bug me. I felt one way about it like 5-6 days ago, and now like I'm more pissed but feel a little bit differently, but I keep going back and forth, and
I don't think anybody has the full story on what's going on there. I think it's all speculation. And I think, first of all, it would be really stupid for us to believe that the media is telling us anything is true.
God. Well,
So let's just start with that. I've seen the whole biolab theory.
Yeah.
And I know that there's a lot of child trafficking that happens in Ukraine as well.
Dude,
like it's like one of the hubs.
They should probably come to the place that it's like the worst, which is here.
Absolutely. I agree with that. I think everybody's going to want to believe what fits their agenda.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I believe that there's definitely some undercover Biden deals, that whole storyline.
Right.
And I don't really trust any of the world leaders because they all suck.
Right. You're kind of like where I am. You're like, I believe a lot of the conspiracy stuff, but like, I just like,
I'm a very middle ground conspirer.
Telling me who the bad guy is. So
yeah,
my thing is that they're probably both bad. They're world leaders, guys. Like,
thank you. Like, they're all globalists in one form or another.
They're fighting over some shit that we're never gonna know about, and they're gonna tell us, but we're never gonna know like what that is.
Like, look at our past wars, especially the one that took place in Iraq and Afghanistan. Like, I'm pretty sure that the media had us believing one thing, and then when we got to the root of it, it was like about like oil and other things. So do I believe that we're being told the truth? No. Do I trust any of these political figures? No, I don't. Do I know who the bad guy is? No, I don't. You know, it's just
literally, and I go back and forth because it's like, I'll watch, like I watch the news, like I'm gonna watch the
who doesn't? It's comedy at this point.
I also don't believe all of it, but I'm like, okay, so some of this is definitely happening. Like, this person's saying this person's saying this person's saying this, and I'm like, but then at the end of the day, I'm kind of like, but why, like, not to sound cold, but like, what the fuck does that have to do with us right now?
Nothing. And we should be worrying about our own country.
Right. The media is only showing that.
Right.
Only. I mean, my TV's either on Fox or CNN 90% of the day in the background while I sit here. Like, my TV's over in the corner. I sit here, do my thing, and I flip back and forth and get a general idea.
Well, you know that
only
the news it works on emotion. That's how they get their reaction. So if it's got to do with race, if it's got to do with war, if it's got to do with any of those kind of narratives, it's going to be posted.
Right.
That's all they talk about. They work off emotion. I literally watch the news for comedy value at this point. Because it's funny. It's funny, you know?
My thing was like, how are that many people available for Fox News interviews that are underground right now? That was weird to me. Like, I questioned stuff like that.
Sean Penn, why are you there filming a whole documentary?
Because it's a documentary, though. Like, that's the only one that I'm like, I mean, it makes sense.
No. It does make sense, but it's like, who told you, like, okay, you can go to Ukraine now. We're about to drop bombs. Like,
that was a little weird. And his crazy escape. Did you read about his escape?
No.
Oh my God. He had to like ditch his car on the side of the road and like go in through Poland to like get out safely or something. And I'm like, I thought you were doing a documentary. You're supposed to stay,
like,
bro.
Did, like, the Russian and Ukraine army just like let you roll through? Were you like, yo, I'm Sean Penn, like, let me be, like, I'm going?
I don't know. And then you got like a notice from Russia to Canada, like, bro, we're not invading Ukraine. And I'm like, you're fucking doing something.
There's a lot of things that I question. I like to call myself a conspiracy realist because I'm not that far down the rabbit hole where like I have lost touch with reality. Where you know what I mean?
Fact.
Yes. Right. And I like to use my brain, and I like to sit there and research and connect dots, and it's fun to me. Do I believe every conspiracy theory? No, I think some of them are really fucking far out there. But and the funniest thing is when I talk about conspiracy theories on my channel, I'm always like getting called a QAnon, a Trump supporter.
They always come in with the like, what's up? on. It's like, dude,
I've never read a Q drop in my life.
Was,
I haven't. I don't understand them.
Wrapped into it for a hot. It's a cool one. It is. I mean,
I find it interesting. I really do, because a lot of the stuff that's brought to, like, from the QAnon people, like, a lot of it does make sense. And there's a lot of clues. Like, there's like random boxes with Q's on the back of them and a Joe Biden picture. Like, what is going on? You know what I mean?
That either it, like, I think all of it is to wake people up. Like all of it is just to get people thinking on like a bigger scale, whether it's God.
What was your awakening point? Because everybody has a 0 point. What was your point of awakening?
So it's a sad story though, dude.
Oh.
I worked in long-term healthcare, and I was always kind of like conspiracy driven, like the 9/11 stuff, but never like hardcore. I did a radio show. I co-hosted a couple times with one of my friends that did it. I like them. They're fun to me. But when COVID hit, I fell for it, actually.
We all did.
Very hard.
We all did at first.
Yeah. So like I was in long-term care, and all we really had was, you know, the CDC coming in and out constantly and telling us what was going on. And then there was new rules constantly. I'm taking my scrubs off outside my house. I'm scared to touch my children. I'm wiping down groceries. And then I had a patient that came back from the hospital. She had COPD. She was 101 and like one of our faves, loved her. Well, when she came back, they had her like on a breathing machine, but it wasn't for COVID. She had COPD.
Right.
She was over, I think it was COPD. I could be wrong on that. But there was something going on that she needed it for a different reason. It was not for COVID. She did not come back with COVID. But because there was symptoms, that was like freaking people out.
Yeah.
And because I had left work and I was gone for 2 days, and I came back, and everything that she was wearing was still the same as what I left her in. And her bed was soaked. All of her food was stacked outside of her room. She couldn't get to it. She was on morphine, and like her morphine hadn't been administered in days. And it was that was when I was like, this is bullshit. This is to scare you, and it's working. And this is why people are dying. They're dying from COVID neglect. They're not dying from COVID.
They're dying with it, not from it, right?
And then when we had to record our numbers, they were skewing them where I worked.
Oh, it's a known fact that happens all over the country.
And then they started wanting to move like COVID positive patients into our facility because our governor had allowed it. Like, because I live in Michigan.
Same. Well, I live in Jersey, so.
What's up?
You guys are doing an amazing job.
Not all those little people, guys. Sorry. Like, but they were starting to do that. And it was, I remember being at work, and I remember like looking all the way around, and I was like, none of this is real. Like, it just hit me, because people don't act like that with any other disease. We don't do that to people, like as caregivers, as nurses, as doctors.
My mom quit her job. My mom was a nurse too. My mom quit her job because they weren't even protecting people properly at her job.
No, I had a friend of mine that was she worked in long-term care with me, and she wound up she left. So she wound up moving to a hospital, and we had her on the podcast a while ago, but they had her in oncology. Okay. So she was in like the recovery unit in oncology. So after people had their surgeries, the nurse that you wake up to,
right.
that was her. Like, she'd watch over you as you were waking up, but she worked specifically in oncology for that. They started floating her and bouncing her from the COVID unit back and forth.
Why would they do that?
You'd never do that.
No, if you're that contagious, why would you do that?
Exactly, unless you wanted, because they wanted it to spread.
Right.
I mean, the thing is, like, if I set off influenza A into a nursing home, holy shit, you know what I mean? Like, I got my flu. I mean, I was vaccinated for the flu to work in long-term care.
You have to, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't forced where I was.
Right.
For me, like, it was around long enough. I didn't, like, I'm fine with vaccines. I'm not like a big Like, I don't want them anymore now because I've done a lot more research on them. Like, I'm all fucking set now. But it was actually text that woke me up to that one where I was like,
so yeah, I'm actually on the complete opposite side of that spectrum, because my journey of waking up started 3 years ago when I had my son. Well, when I was pregnant with my son. I was for the vaccines. Like, I was like, what do you like? My son's father was like, Brie, we're not vaccinating him. And I was like, yes, we are. Like, are you nuts? And his sister, I love his sister. We're still friends. We still talk. She's the one that was like, before you make any like crazy decisions, like at his birth and the vaccines that are given there, like, please read, and read this and read that. And her child is vaccine injured. So I went nose deep in researching because I was a first time mother. I was scared, tiny body. I want to make sure that he's completely healthy. And I went down that rabbit hole. And
I'm new to the vaccine thing.
I didn't vaccinate him at birth. He didn't get any shots at birth. We didn't do the eye cream because he didn't need the eye gel. That's usually only for mothers.
They get so mad at you too. Like, they look at you.
They did get mad at me.
I did that with my son. I was like, I don't want that shit on his face.
Well, he need it.
No, he doesn't. Because
it's
now
only
that
for moms, it's only for when babies are, if the mother has a sexually transmitted disease.
Exactly. So they're slapping it on every kid.
Vitamin K is a black box vaccine, which means it's extremely harmful. When you ask for an insert from the doctor, they don't give you the real insert. They give you the CDC printout, which is BS.
Right.
It's like this big and it doesn't tell you everything.
Right. When like it's like page upon, I mean, they're huge.
They're huge. So when I started looking, vitamin K is one of the shots that's given at birth. So when I started looking into it, and I realized that as soon as babies start eating, they produce their own vitamin K. By their first 72-hour visit, the doctor will tell you they don't even need the shot. I was like, well, my son's completely healthy and he's not internally bleeding. That's another reason they give it if there's any kind of damage. I was like, my son's completely healthy.
Do you have a YouTube channel or no?
I don't.
No.
I mean, I do to be on YouTube, but but I don't make videos.
You're like streaming.
Yeah, now I'm streaming. But once I started really researching, and we went to his first pediatrician, was straight up telling me, if you don't vaccinate, I cannot see you. Like, I will not see you. And she talked me into, I think it was the Rota drops. That was the only vaccine he's ever had. First of all, Rota only is in third world countries where the water is filled with feces. Why are we giving it to our children here? We're not in a third world country.
See, and go you. Go, no, seriously, like
go little rock star, right?
No, for being like diligent about it. Like, I was stupid. I
didn't trust myself at first, if I'm being honest. I didn't know if I was making the right choices. Right. I was scared. I was still scared as a new mother to have an unvaccinated infant.
Yeah.
Because that's a scary thing. You're like,
right.
am I going to regret this? Or, you have to weigh out the pros and cons. And the one thing I'm happy about with the whole COVID pandemic is this woke up people about vaccine liability, if they're telling you the truth about ingredients, and informed consent, which is 3 things that people should know about way before COVID hit. So a lot of people that don't even agree with us politically, have been like, no, I'm going to say no. I'm going to read about this before I and I'm like, this is so beautiful. Like, I live for it.
I do. I like seeing, like, that's like one of my favorite parts too, is watching. I think you're a lot like me like that, because when like we do events, my favorite thing is afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's hanging out, like if we're at the bar, if we're at somebody's house or an Airbnb, and everybody kind of breaks off. And then they're like, there's all these conversations that are going, and it's like so open and so beautiful, and everybody's learning from each other.
I love it.
And everybody's kind of growing, and that to me is better than the event. Like, I like the events. They're fun. You know what I mean? It's content.
But it's the human interaction that's more beautiful than anything else. And I totally agree with that. And when I see people slowly waking up and saying like the doctor that I saw with my son, she straight up told me like, I won't see you if you don't vaccinate. And I was like, oh my God, is my insurance going to drop me? Like, I was so scared that she was going to call CPS on me. First of all those things are illegal. They're illegal.
How fucking scary is that's your baby and you are afraid that the government is going to come take it from you because you won't put questionable things into its body. Like
how dare you question me as the mother and my morality? You know what I mean? Like, you're the one that's getting paid to pump poison into people.
A lot.
And you're completely indoctrinated. And you when doctors go to school, I know that like this much of their curriculum is about vaccinations because they're just mimicking what they're being told.
Oh yeah, because they're not making it. They're
right. They're just, you know, that's their job. So it's just when that was my awakening point was a year before I had my son. I was like, if I'm going to make these choices, I need to be informed.
Right.
So when COVID hit, and the first thing I told my parents, like within like that year, was they're going to push for a vaccine because that's what all this is for. And I was right. So sometimes being a conspiracy nut plays off.
And now we don't need to be like, now they pushed the vaccine. They know that they got as far as they could get. So now we need a new disaster. So how about nuclear war? How about the impending fear of nuclear war?
Well, you got to keep the people in fear. That's how you keep them in control.
Well, they just updated the readiness plan on the government web and on like the .gov or whatever.
Yeah.
The ready.gov, they now include nuclear disasters. Like, it's new and updated and shiny. And I'm like, what are you doing? But then it still says
wow,
to maintain
that's scary.
6 feet and to wear your mask.
I'm not scared of nuclear war. Like if that happens, like, just please let me die. I don't want to be a cockroach. I don't want to see the afterworld after a nuclear attack. Like, just let me go.
Yeah, I don't want to be like a nomad in the new America. Like, I just want to.
Yeah,
I want to go out.
No, thank you. This is not. What's that movie with Will Smith and the robots? I am
No, I don't want. But that's what it's gonna be. Robots scare the shit out of me. I am so afraid of technology.
AI period scares me. That's too much intrusiveness into my life. That you're.
Well, have you?
No, thank you.
Have you seen the two, like the new robots that they've built that like talk to each other and shit?
Do you see them on TikTok on the lives?
Yes.
What is that?
Scare me. I don't know, but they had two of them that they put two of them together to have like a conversation, like an older model and then a newer model that was based more around like real human emotions and empathy and things like that. And like the original model didn't like it, didn't like that one, and like almost got like angry at it and like said some fuck shit about how like
this is why you can't trust anything that you see. There's too much room for fakeness.
I'm looking at people at the grocery store now and I'm like, you one of those fucking things? Because they look so real though.
Imagine someone like who's in the grocery store and they pop a fuse or something. Oh my God.
I couldn't do it. I'm like, I didn't even own a smartphone for like everybody had smartphones and I still had my flip and I'm like, fuck off, I'm not doing it. And then
I wish I still had a flip.
So do I. Oh my God, but have you seen the new Galaxy? Like I'm this close to leaving iPhone for the new Galaxy flip phone.
The one that folds?
Yeah, like the whole phone does it. And I was like,
yeah.
A week. I'll break it in a week. I know I will.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be like.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all robots. Whole new meaning of catfish. Whole new meaning.
No, literally. Forget a filter.
Mad Max. No. Like, I mean, I might, like, I'd like to watch it. I don't know. The robot dogs at the border. They're down at the border. They're protecting the border. You know that? There's robot dogs down at the border.
Why don't they, like, close it? Close the border.
That's not inhumane to send robot dogs after them, but us arresting them is inhumane.
Yeah. Or vaccinating them or making them wear a mask when they cross over. Extremely inhumane, but we'll do it to our own people.
Like, does it look like a human? Our grocery store is a robot that goes to the store and makes a noise when it finds its stuff. Oh, like that little box, the little box robot? We have one of those at our Kroger.
We have one too, and it's like a skinny long one.
They are not aliens.
Oh, my baby hairs are like sticking to my forehead.
How are you loving the dreads?
I'm not going back anytime soon.
I'm like, I don't know why I don't do it. I don't know why.
Just do it. Literally has made my life 10 times easier. I just roll out of bed.
Right.
I don't have to do anything.
Have you taken them down yet? Like, have you taken them out for like a wash and all that?
No, you can wash your hair once a week still. So I just washed my hair yesterday.
Because say that their hair, like the first time that they take them out to like do that break or whatever for like that night or like a couple days, that their hair in the front just starts feeling so soft because it's so freaking protected from everything.
Yes. So I'm going to take them out probably next week. It'll be a month that I had them in. And I'll probably give myself a 2-week rest. And then I have like a whole bunch of new colors coming.
You got more? I knew you would. I was like, this girl's going to own 3 colors.
I'm going to keep it natural, like black and brown, but I have like emerald green strands and I have like dusty rose colors. I'm not going to put them all in at once, but I'll change it up once in a while.
I miss the green. Like, I was shocked that you didn't do like green braids or blue braids or something like
I think everybody was.
Like when you have like a natural color, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But it would look cool if you did some green ones in there.
Yeah, I'm going to put some emerald green ones in there.
That would look super pretty. Well, you know what, sweetie? We're really close to the hour being over anyways. And
okay.
Mama time. Like, we got 2 minutes. So you can go get to him. And
okay,
go and follow Spiritual Warfare.
Thanks for having me on.
I like to have you back because I think like I want to do some episodes where I pull like a couple people in.
Okay.
So it's still new. We're still working on it.
Let's do it.
I appreciate everybody for coming in and enjoying the show with me today. And we will see you next week. I have on Sam. I'm not sure that you guys follow her. She is from NarcTalk. So she does a lot of work with narcissists and things like that. So she will be on next week. And then Freedom Fam on Tuesday with Blue Collar Ben. That's all the things. Okay, guys. Thank you.